Hello, Internet. It is MTGO. I'm here with something that's not Lantern Control for once. We're doing something new today. I've been very curious for years now to try out Death Shadow in paper. Checked the price on the cards that I didn't own, and turns out that it didn't cost a ton. I mean, it's still modern MTG, so it's like still pricey. It seemed like it was in a good place in paper where I decided to take it for a spin, and I liked the deck, and I figured I'd try and grind some leagues with it. This is like the third league that I've done so far, I think. I don't have a whole lot of things about this deck list to say, quite frankly. I'm kind of new in the archetype. I'm just going to give a quick note on what things I've changed and the default deck list that I used for my deck. There was a 5-0 dump from a guy named Control Freak. He's a pretty popular Death Shadow community figure. He's on a lot of social media platforms. It shouldn't be too hard to find him if you don't know who he is right now. About a month ago, he had a 5-0 list that got posted in the 5-0 dumps, and I modified it slightly to match what collection I have in paper, and then just ran that online so that I could, practice what I have. Basically, instead of 2 Sink into Stupors, I'm running 3. I just didn't have the last fetch land to round out the mana base, so I just threw in a 3rd Sink and called it a day. Instead of Go for the Throats, I threw in Drown in the Loch because that's what I had in my binder. It seems like it's provided that your opponent has cards in graveyard, which is pretty common in the format right now. Drown in the Loch seems pretty good. Struggles against Eldrazi, but that's about it. In the main board as well, I wanted to run Mockingbirds, so I tweaked the deck a little bit. Some of the numbers are a little funky to account for that, so I'm running 2 less removal spells and added 2 Mockingbirds. I figured that, instead of attacking the creatures on the ground, we could just fly over them and copy Death Shadows and Netherglyphs that are struggling on the ground. So those could be the blockers, Mockingbird could be the attackers. I don't know. I just wanted to play Mockingbird. It seemed fun. In the sideboard, it should all be the exact same, except for this one unmoored ego. I didn't own Force Negation, and it looks like in the post-Nadu meta, people are adopting some amount of unmoored egos to combat things like Amulet or Storm. I'm not really exactly sure where it's supposed to go, but we'll find out along the way. I'm sure it'll find a use in at least one of these games. That's all I have. Deck list is going to be on Moxfield. The description will have a link to that. And yeah, I don't even really do my standard Lantern plugs here, do I? Because this isn't Lantern. Yeah, I'm just going to jam. Let's go. Hey, from the editor's booth really quickly. If you see mistakes and you're a Death Shadow player, do call them out. I want to learn how to play this deck. And it's clear in some of these matches that I'm very not confident in what I'm doing, either in individual plays or hand keeps or sideboard plays. So give advice, call it out. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you. Back to video. Match 1. Okay, match 1. We're on the play. What do we got here? 2 lands. Bauble and Wraith are both redraws, but we have 3 pieces of interaction. Well, 2.5. We'll count Stubborn Denial as half. This has a real risk of not hitting a clock anytime soon, but I have a lot of selection combined with the fetches between the Bauble, the Delta, potentially grabbing a Surveil Land, and the Street Wraith for extra draws, where I think we can get there. So I'm going to give it a shot. So I'm going to lean on Bauble, targeting myself. Thoughtseize is not a clock. In the dark, I don't think we hold on to that one. Well, we could just fire it off this turn, actually. We could just keep slowing them down and just make it take forever. Yeah, I could just cycle, grab the Street Wraith, play Thoughtseize turn 1. Just go to 13. Alright, that was a good choice, because this is Storm. They're running 2 Rituals, Grape Shot, Manamorphose, Past in Flames. This is a little dangerous. I'm very bad at playing against Storm. I never seem to remember what cards I'm supposed to take. The Rituals will help them explode very quickly, and we have a fast clock, so I think I take the Rituals. If you're going to pick a Ritual, you want to pick the Desperate Ritual so that they don't splice it later. That's my understanding, at least. Extra counterspell's really good here. I really do need a damage clock, though, because my opponent will eventually find some stuff to start comboing out. Oh, that's not what I'm looking for, but I can bobble myself again. I mean, Street Wraith's a redraw. I do have to keep in mind that they have a Grape Shot too, and I'm going to be lowering my life total quite a bit. I don't think it's worth cracking the fetch to get rid of a Street Wraith, which is just going to be a redraw anyways. So I'm just going to draw it. Okay, opponent fires off a Ritual. I think in isolation that doesn't do anything. They're probably just going to metamorphose and see what happens, so that's fine. I will not let them have that medallion, though. So they just burned their other ritual. They lost their medallion. Sink into Stupor is interaction, I guess. Let me cycle Street Wraith again. Let's see what I can get going here. I am getting increasingly worried about this Grape Shot, though. They only need to get to 8 Storm, which they could probably do without any support on permanents and stuff. So I'm gonna fetch the sewers here. That is not a clock on its own. And we draw another counterspell. All right, we're just gonna sit here and stare at our opponent again. I think I'm running out the land. I don't think I'm gonna need to bounce any permanents anytime soon. Like, we have plenty of permission still. They're gonna surveil. They like their card. That's not a good sign. Reckless Impulse, yep. They find a Ral and a Glimpse. They can't cast either one. Cool, alright. They are really struggling over there. That's not good. What am I doing with this? I think I'm playing this one as a land as well, just so that if they try and go off over a long period of time, like, me bouncing their spells isn't going to be a big deal. Like, they're just going to recast them, more than likely. So I'll just keep playing these out as lands. Really need a damage clock, though. I'm regretting not digging harder for those. I just settled for interaction. The Glimpse the Impossible is annoying. I can stub it at least if they didn't draw a land. Okay, they're playing Ral. That's fine, because I can Fatal Push that. They did draw a land, so they'll probably try and Glimpse. Oh, I should have... You know what? I should have pinged Ral in response. Oh, I guess I wouldn't. Yeah, that would matter. I should have pinged Ral in response. They wouldn't be able to do anything this turn. Afterwards. Yeah. Okay, I kind of missed the boat on that one. Okay, so they might get to flip Ral. They have, what, 2 cards in hand? So they just play the Metamorphose. They do have Past in Flames in their hand still. They have a Grape Shot. Their Storm's at 3. They're going to have a lot of mana, but I have Counterspell for that. That's fine. All right, so they probably get to flip, or well, 50-50 that they get to flip Ral. I guess we find out what happens. They're going to have 5 mana. Stub is looking pretty bad right now. Oh, they do get to flip Ral. Okay. Yeah. So we're back to I need a clock, because I need to find a way to pressure either Ral or just their life total. Just something. Okay, they go Past in Flames. They don't get to have... Do they get to have that? What do they have in the graveyard? They have 1 Reckless Impulse. They'll also have a Glimpse the Impossible, though. But they didn't play that yet, so they don't get the trigger off of Past in Flames this turn. So I think I let them have this. They're gonna Ritual a bunch of... Oh, wait, no, hold on. They have Grape Shot. I gotta chill out for a sec. No, they can't have that. Oh, I'm just dead anyway. Aren't I? Because I'm at 7 life. They can just Grape Shot me. Yeah, I'm just dead. Whoops. Okay. I don't know if I played that correctly. That was probably a mistake. So we're boarding in the Egos. We're going to board in the Unlicensed Hearses. I don't know if Consigned to Memory comes in. They might. They counter Storm Triggers, which is really good. They counter the Ruby Medallions. I think sometimes they run Thassa's Oracle, but not always. And oh, well, we can counter that too. Yeah, so Consign seems good. They are running Commercial Districts, so they have Veil of Summer, but Veil of Summer doesn't stop Consign from targeting triggered abilities, which is really important. Mockingbirds come out. I don't need those. Drown in the Lock is probably fine as a counter spell. Fatal Pushes, we could probably trim some of those at the very least. Like, they answer Rals, which is important, but that's all they're really doing. Yeah, I guess that's true. We don't have a lot of answers to Ral. So maybe I keep in, like, 2 Fatal Push, just in case. We have a Drown as well for Ral. Well, I don't really know what else I'm taking out. I think I just take out the pushes, yeah. We'll just make sure that they can't storm off with important key spells. I'm really trusting that I know what I'm doing, which I don't. But this has no lands in it. We're going to try again. Perfect. A handful of interaction and a single spell that can clock the opponent. This is exactly what I'm looking for. I think I bottomed the Stub or the Consign. I probably bought them the Consign to Memory because this is something that's going to counter their Storm finish, and I don't think we're going to need to worry about that. Uh-oh. They're going fast. I just passed directly to my second main. That could have been awkward. Okay. Lead on Thoughtseize. Ruby Medallion, Ritual, Glimpse, Past in Flames. So next turn they could turn one Glimpse if they want to. But I definitely take the Medallion here. Okay, yeah, they're not gonna aggressively Glimpse. That I understand that. I don't know why they would do that. I'm gonna lead on Preordain. I can rely on the Stubborn Denial, I think. I just need a third land in order to deploy the Frog. So I'm just digging for a land. Cool, that's a land. I'm gonna run out the Delta. If they try and go off next turn, then I still can try and stub one of their things. But if they don't, then I can bring in a Surveil land. Yeah, perfect. Ooh, Unmoored Ego is good. So I can strip all the wishes out of their deck. I mean, they obviously have one Grape Shot still. I think I'm going to leave it on top just because my hand's already set up. I don't think I'm going to do it next turn, but I do want to think about the Unmoored Ego. I'll run out the Froggy. Okay, opponent finds land number 3. That's important. They're fetching. Okay, they're going to pass this turn. Gotcha. Loud and clear. So if I Unmoored Ego on Wish... I kind of wish I knew what their hand was. Maybe... I'm trying to figure out what I dump in my hand to this Psychic Frog. I probably dump the Stubborn Denial, because that's just a Force Spike right now. If I draw a land, then I can Unmoored Ego, name, like, Wish, and then no matter how hard they storm off, I can just consign to memory their Grape Shot, Storm Trigger, and then their whole hand is... Well, that's not true. They could Past in Flames and then get Grape Shot back and try again. But makes things a bit harder for them. I could also Unmoored Ego Past in Flames, which makes their chaining a lot more difficult. That's probably what I need to do. Okay. Psychic Frog, swing in. I will discard Stubborn Denial. Draw a card. Death Shadow's not what I'm looking for right now. So Unmoored Ego gets blown up by Veil of Summer. Is that a risk that I take? They don't have a cost reducer yet, so I think that's fine. Okay, yeah, I might get blown out. I might have made a mistake. That was reckless. Yeah, this is their time to go. I'm shields down. Oh, they have a second ritual too. Yeah, and they get their Past in Flames. So they can Glimpse twice. That's 6 cards that they dig for. Actually, they need to Past in Flames now if they want more mana. They do have 2 unknown cards in hand. I don't know what they're still working with, but... Okay, they fire off Glimpse now. They find... Manamorphose doesn't net the mana, but it at least cycles. Yeah. Impulse will keep digging. So next turn, they're gonna try and Past in Flames, probably. I think they played a land this turn? Yeah, it's turn... Oh, turn 4. Oh, they could play a land, I think. Because they have the Gemstone Caverns, right? Oh, no, they whiffed on a land one turn. Okay, so Frog's going to have to fly. I could also just deploy the Death Shadow. Yeah, this is a 3/3 if I shock in the Watery Grave. So I'm deploying the Death Shadow this turn, I think. So I kind of want them to block the Frog here. That's also mana out of their hands. So I have a counterspell for the Past in Flames. And I can finally start beating them to death. Which is good. Ritual's fine. I am unconcerned with that. This is the... Yeah, I need to counter that. If they have... Oh, they tapped out a green. Well, they could fetch first. Yeah, no, they could still do Veil of Summer if they needed to. But... Yeah, we needed to counter that, and we did. So I don't know what's in their hand anymore. Wait. They're going to kill the Frog? Hold on. First target's at the Frog. So they still have a Past in Flames in the graveyard. This copies 4 times. Okay, so they kill the Frog no matter what. Okay, I see. So I'm going to counter the Storm Trigger. Keep the Frog alive. I'm going to Thoughtseize my opponent. That converts to more damage because I lose 2 life. Alright. They have 5 mana. Past in Flames doesn't really go anywhere unless they draw a land. If they draw a land, then it goes somewhere. Wish is much more scary, though. So Wish has to go. Oh, cool. All right, they didn't even want to try. They had they had 3 rituals in the graveyard. They didn't have any... Oh, they do have a cost reducer, but this is instant and sorceries, right? Yeah, Past in Flames is just instant or sorceries. Okay, yeah, I see what they're... They might have been able to storm close to a Grape Shot win, but it'd be a little tough. I think we're running it back. I think I just need to play the deck tighter. I gave them a window where they could just storm out, and that was very risky. I got pretty lucky. This hand's interaction is really weak and doesn't present a clock. It is 100% just hoping on MTGO resolve. So I think I ship that. This is turn 1, Thoughtseize, turn 2, Nethergoyf, hold up a Stubborn Denial, turn 3, another Nethergoyf, and we'll hope it goes somewhere. Oh, right, sorry, I have to mull a card. It's probably Consign. This double damage clock, like, my interaction is pretty garbage, even with the Consign to memory, I think. Well, the Consign can still hit Ruby Medallions. I need both my lands. It's either one of these Nethergoyfs or Consign to memory, and I think I just need the faster clock. I think, yeah. Yeah, we'll do that. Yep, they pass, makes sense. The Delta's nice for Nethergoyf later. I'm going to hold on to it for now, because I'm going to have to shock these in no matter what. Alright, this is their cost reducer. They found the Grape Shot again. Wow. I wonder how many of those are running main board. Normally I thought they only ran 1. Double Ritual, Ren's Resolve. I take the cost reducer here. Like, there's no doubt about that. They can try and get something going if they want to be risky. Okay, yeah, they don't need to. They just go Ren's Resolve. That makes sense. Hearse will be good later. I don't think I can deploy that next turn. I think I need to hold up some permission. Go Nethergoyf. Go Delta. Pass the turn. Third land would be bad for me. If they just run out of Ruby Medallion, then I'm happy. Cool. Stub that. We even have a Death Shadow. Look at that. I think I'm going Nethergoyf. See, if I tap out on mana, then they are just going to swing for the fences, I think. But I think Unlicensed Hearse ruins their life a little bit more if I just slam that. Well, let me think here. So Nethergoyf's going to get in for 3. While I'm thinking, I'll just bash him for 3. Nethergoyf is going to be bigger than Death Shadow, at least in the short term. So I'm playing that out. That'd be, what, 6 damage a turn? That's a 3-turn clock for my opponent. I'm a little concerned. They do have Grape Shot, so they might be able to chain together a short-term hand plan for the Grape Shot, but hopefully the Hearse will stop them from top-decking a Past in Flames and trying to accumulate value that way. If there is a turn to go shields down, it's this one. Okay, what do they grab? Opponent is really hanging on this Arid Mesa. Okay. That Surveil land means they're probably holding off a turn. That was a long think from my opponent, though. So they must have been trying to calculate if they could reasonably get to Grape Shot this turn. Okay, I will eat the Ren's Resolve, and I guess it doesn't really matter what else I eat, so I'll take the Medallion. Okay, Preordain is helpful. So Stub is only a Force Spike because these Nethergoyfs are 3/4s. I don't know if that's going to be enough to stop my opponent from doing what they're doing. This island goes to the bottom. What do I do with the Stub? Unlicensed Hearse is going to eat their Past in Flames in the graveyard too, which slows them down quite a bit. So they have 3 mana, 4 mana, 5 mana. Yeah, okay, so I think every mana matters for them right now, so it's fine to have a Stub. So I'll swing with the team here. Run out Death Shadow. Pass the turn. And I'm threatening lethal next turn if they can't do anything, because the Hearse is going to become a 4/4 by the next turn cycle. There's the ritual. That's fine. I just wanted to calculate if I stub right away or not. I don't think I do. They have 4 mana. So if they passed in Flames, I exile the rituals in response. Okay, they're drawing a card. These rituals are gone. They are in the tank again. Oh, GG. Okay, we got the GGs. That was close. I didn't play that game very well. Like, my understanding is that Death Shadow is very favored against Storm because they are very good at stack interaction, but yeah, I didn't play that great. So, I'll take it. On to match 2. Loading into match 2. Cool, we're on the play again. Match 2. This hand is not good. I'm gonna ship this. Like, Stubborn Denial isn't gonna do anything here. Fatal Push does something, but yeah, this... There's no game plan with that hand. Ooh. This is turn 1 Preordain. I imagine one of the Thought Seizes goes to the bottom because I'm gonna have a hard time casting it with my threats. So be like turn 1 Preordain, look for mana, and then turn 2 Nethergoyf Mockingbird. Then I can hold up Counterspell, and then I can Thought Seize on turn 3 as well. I guess if I hit a 3rd land, I can do both of them, but I have to choose. I'm not happy with this, but going to 5 sounds like not good. So at least there's a game plan with this Preordain. Island Preordain is also really weird too, so my opponent might get thrown off on what deck I'm running. Oh, phew, okay. I was nervous of those 2 Death Shadows on top. I'm like, if I get stranded with Death Shadows, I'm screwed. Okay, Scalding Tarn from the opponent. Steam Vents. Okay, we're playing against, it's either Grinding Station or Wizard's Control. So, funny thing I could do. I could copy the Tamiyo. It will never flip over, but I could copy it and try and steal their value. I don't know if that's worth it. Maybe I lead on Thoughtseize first. Let's lead on Thoughtseize. This would use my mana the best, though, which is what I'm looking to do. Okay, so this is Grinding Station. Double Emery is a little scary. They will get Emery next turn as well. They'll have 1 artifact and 2 mana. Will they just play out Saga? Go Emery. So I could take one of the Emerys. They'd have to decide whether or not they bolt my own Mockingbird that copies the Tamiyo, or if they want to Emery. And then I can hold up Counterspell the following turn and just counter whichever one they don't do. And I'd really rather that they try and bolt the Mockingbird, I think. Hopefully this will keep us drawing interaction over time. Like, this might be incorrect because, like, copying another Nethergoyf doubles my clock. Especially in the face of a 0/3 potential blocker that Tamiyo is. Oh, cool. Alright, so they are going to bolt the Tamiyo. They're scared of it. That's awesome. Negate a clue. Oh, they're top deck. Oh, so they can just Emery anyways. Okay, never mind. That was a good top deck for them. They hit garbage, though. Those were not good hits off of Emery. Psychic Frog. Okay, so I am bolting in this land. I think I'm just going Nethergoyf Pass. If I counterspell anything, then Nethergoyf cuts through their creatures. Although these Urza Saga tokens are going to get pretty big. I'm a little nervous about that one. They are going to be able to tutor Ether Spellbomb and start looping it as well. It's another concern. They're shifting Woodlands. That's kind of cool. Okay, they don't do anything this turn. So they'll probably just draw a card. That's what they're looking to do. Thoughtseize is nice, but I don't think that solves the current problem. Yeah, I'll attack for 2. I'm sure they have no problem with that. Oh, duh, they make constructs. Okay. Yeah, I'm just done. I can't control the board state, and I can't control whatever they're tutoring for. I think we're just done. So, Stern Scolding is interesting because it counters Tamiyo and Emery's. Consigned to Memory is important because it stuffs the Saga triggers and will mess with their loops, I think. And the Unlicensed Hearse is very good at answering their graveyard because they're an Underworld Breach deck. So, that's very important as well. The fatal pushes seem good as well. The stubborn denials don't seem so great. Especially because we're going to have consigned to memory, which counters a lot of the important stuff. I think like they're playing creatures early, and then they're relying on things like Urza's Saga to get around counter magic, so I think the stubs need to come out. I've never had a matchup where I've boarded out Counterspell before. Is this one of those matchups where that could happen? Like we just board in 1 mana specific counterspells, Consign covers the Saga bases, and then like I think hard permission still matters. Yeah, I think hard permission still matters. Despite the fact that they have a lot of graveyards, or they have a large graveyard, I think I take out the Drown in the Lock. I don't think that answers things that I'm looking for, really. The Fatal Push covers the destroy part, and their graveyard's not going to be well populated until after I already countered stuff, I think. No. Or Mockingbirds are going to come out. Actually, that's not true. They're a Saga deck. They gum up the board. Mockingbird's probably going to be useful. And I can copy their Tamios. Yeah, I don't know what to take out here. Frog also gets over... Oh, actually, that's not true. They have Tamio to block if they want. Maybe I trim a couple frogs. This matchup is going to be pretty fast, so I don't know if the frogs make sense. I'll try it like this. I'll just keep one frog in just in case I'm wrong. I could let RNG tell me that I'm making a mistake. All right, we're trying to get to Death Shadow with this hand. I think I keep this. It has 2 mana, and it has interaction. I just need to figure out if I'm letting my opponent potentially cast Tamio on turn 1, because I don't have anything to do with my mana. Or, well, I could preordain. Bobbling myself doesn't do anything, so I'm going to bobble them. They're drawing a Saga. Okay. How bad do things get if they resolve a Tamio? They get a little bad. I guess I can just hold up a mana and pass. There's no harm in that. I can preordain next turn. Keep drawing the shocklands. I want the fetch lands. Give me the fetch lands. Okay, turn 1 Misty. They shock in a breeding pool. I assume they're shocking it in. Yeah, there we go. Ooh, Soul Guide Lantern. Okay. I'm okay with that. So Netherglyphs are worse. Netherglyphs are going to be a pain. Street Wraith is an interesting draw. I think I'm just going to pop that right now. Fetch land is nice. What can they play next turn that I'm scared of? They're probably just going to run out Urza Saga, which I'm not worried about. Yet. I'm not worried about it yet. I can't do anything about it yet. So maybe I'm just going preordained, play Polluted Delta, pass. Not a fan of either of those draws. It's a fetch land. We'll play the fetch land, I guess. Next turn we can deploy our Death Shadow. Okay, opponent goes Urza Saga. Into Grinding Station. Okay. Alright, I think I'm going to be shocking this in next turn, but we'll see. Grinding Station gets their graveyard loops going. So I might want to sink into Stupor this turn for that. I think I can wait a turn for that, though. So I think I'm just shocking in Watery Grave here. Fetching the last Watery Grave. Or sorry, the third Watery Grave. Playing a Shadow on 2. Holding up counterspells and passing. I do want to bounce that Grinding Station at some point, though. I'm a little worried about that. Those Saga tokens are also really annoying. So I might be able to bounce one of those to do some combat shenanigans. Fatal Push is really good for combat shenanigans, too. Cool. So Death Shadows can be a 5/5. They can make a 3/3 at instant speed. I'm going to go Delta. I'm going to go to combat. I'm going to see what they do. They're going to let it happen. I'm going to grab the last Watery Grave. We need to start clocking our opponent. Okay. Yep, they will make a token. That's fine. Yeah, and these tokens are basically just blockers right now. Like, they can't swing in at me because I'm just going to swing in for more. Unless they can find a way to pump these guys up to 8/8s. But, I mean, they're tapping out this turn, so I doubt that's going to happen. Springleaf will help with that, certainly. Alright, so they have 2 mana this turn. Okay. Stern Scolding on the Emery. You cannot have that one. That resolves. They are a deck that runs Lightning Bolt. So I guess they can swing for 5 at me and then threaten that they have Bolt for the rest of their lives. So what can I do here? Maybe I'm just going Sink into Stupor on one of the constructs, or a Fatal Push on the other construct on my next turn, and then I just hold up Counterspell. And that's a 2-turn clock. Yeah, I think I like that. Sink the construct. They might just grind it for value. They could also hold a Spell Pierce. Like, they have a Springleaf Drum as well. They want to eat my graveyard first. Am I missing an interaction where they get that back at instant speed? Oh, Unholy Heat gets them Delirium. Okay. Damn. Okay. I forgot they run that. Normally the decks that I play against Grinding Station with, I'm very used to them just being free roll matchups for me. I'm not like I see they gum up the board quite a bit, so they're very good at presenting very complicated board states. Nethergoyf is very good here. So I have creature and instants in my graveyard. Unfortunately, I cannot grow this Nethergoyf, but I can at least play it out. I can also Fatal Push this construct right now before they can Grinding Station for value. I don't know if that matters. Like, do they have things that come out of the graveyard? Like, they might have, like, a research desk. That's probably the only thing they care about at this point in the graveyard. I mean, I'm not... Yeah, I'm just going to do this now. I guess there is value in me having untapped mana on their turn, but they could also be running Spell Pierces, which ruin my day. But, you know what? No, maybe holding up a 3rd mana makes sense, because if they try and counterspell my Fatal Push on their turn, then I'm probably coming out ahead. Alright. No Emery. Okay, that resolves. That's good. Oh, right. Wait, I forgot. Breach barely runs any counterspells. They're very unlikely to run counterspells because it's not conducive to them comboing. So I should be less worried about that. Their Urza's Saga scares me. Their Tamiyo scares me too. Uh-oh. Okay, they mill their own Springleaf Drum. Or they sack their own Springleaf Drum to mill 3. What does that mean? What are they trying to do? They're gonna go Breach? Did they played land this turn, right? What did they grab? What are they tapping for a blue mana? What's going on? What? Where did the blue come from? Were they... Oh, did they float a blue and I just didn't notice? Okay, they're not floating mana right now. I don't know what just happened. I'll have to go and check the replay. Beep, beep. In the editor's booth here. I checked the replay, and yeah, they floated a mana. They tapped their Tamiyo and their Springleaf Drum to float a blue. Then they sacrificed it to the Grinding Station, made themselves mill for 3, played the Underbreach with the Mountain and the Urza Saga that they had, and then they still had a blue floating this whole time. The fact that they were casting and canceling the casting was confusing me, and I had Goldfish Brain and forgot that they had a blue floating the entire time. That's all. No moto bugs there. It's all kosher. Back to video. Consign is great for the Urza Saga uptick here. Yeah, I think I just have to stifle the Urza Saga on 2. Because Tamiyo is going to be making clues every turn, and if they refuse to crack those, then these constructs get way out of hand. So I just need to make sure that that never happens. Yeah, no, that's... You don't get to make constructs with that. Okay, next turn they can pop Tamiyo. Like, they just bobble on my turn. And then they'll draw a bobble on their upkeep. They'll draw for turn, and then they crack the clue. So Tamiyo's flipping over. Unless I draw a Fatal Push. Or a Drown, if I have a Drown. Ooh, Unlicensed Hearse is helpful. I think. I guess I'll see if it resolves. Because if it doesn't, then it grows the Goyf. I didn't realize my artifacts triggered their Grinding Station too. That's really funny. I'm just considering if I unlicense Hearse on my turn or if I just let them have a turn. I think I just let them have their turn. I don't think there's any weird shenanigans that they can do at instant speed in response to my Hearse that I care about. Like, I'm trying to do stuff like answer Tamiyo's minus here. Are they trying to make a construct again? Yep, they are. I know the pain, opponent. I know the pain. I've been on the opposite end of this too. Like, I play a lot of Lantern Control, and that's helpful. Okay, the might is But might is bad. It's not the end of the world. They find another saga. Oh my god. Okay. Okay, Tamio slipping. Oh, they're just gonna plus Tamio. Okay. No, you do not get another one. Go away. That blocks. Okay. End step. Unlicensed Hearse is going to eat. I think I need to take the Unholy Heat because of Tamio. That's the one thing that they can use to kill my Goyf. And then what do they use to combo out with the Grinding Station? I think Springleaf Drum might generate the mana over time. The Bauble doesn't draw cards immediately, but they can just draw like 7 cards on my end step. I think the Bauble's scarier. The Rumble isn't great either, because that continues to dig them, but these are things that will, right, that I think are immediate problems. The Might can come back too, but I don't have many things that the Might targets that I care about. Okay, those cards are gone. Cool. Nethergoyf, you really need to grow here, man. Okay, well, this helps. Let's go digging. I think 7 life is low enough where I can just bin the Street Wraith and I'm happy. I don't want the Street Wraith anymore. So I can attack Tamio, but that just locks us in a fight forever for me poking Tamio. They're going to have a Saga token that's a 2/2 as well. And then 3/3s and 4/4s, and then if they play another artifact, they're all 5/5s. Ugh, I don't like that at all. I think I'm just gonna bash my opponent, I think, and assume that I find some answers to what they're doing before Tamio ultimates. I think it's just a losing battle for me to fight the Tamio. I just need to find more threats or Fatal Push to answer the Saga tokens or something. Okay, opponent has Shifting Woodland, so they can copy whatever. I assume they have Delirium. Land, enchantment, creature, artifact. Yeah, they have Delirium, so Shifting Woodland is on. So they can copy an Underworld Breach. They can't really copy a Emery because Shifting Woodland still came out this turn, so they can't use tap effects for it. Oh, yeah, the One Ring. That helps. That is very bad, in fact. So I guess I'm attacking Tamio this turn. Oh, Consign came out too late. Okay, attack Tamio. We're going downhill, folks. I think I let... I guess I shouldn't let them tutor, but... Yeah, I probably shouldn't have let them tutor, but... I don't know anymore, man. I'm just here. Yeah, I can't counter the One Ring. I don't know why I did this. I guess I can counter future One Rings. Opponent is having a big hard think. Opponent taps some mana. Very slowly taps mana. Okay, Shifting Woodlands is copying Breach. Makes sense to me. Okay, they're milling 3. Their Mox Amber's in the yard, so they can start popping off. They went through Thoracle though, right? So I might be able to stifle the Thoracle trigger and do something from there. Okay, I'm gonna yield to that. Emery resolves. Okay, there's another ring. That doesn't matter, they don't have mana for that. We'll just, we can pop this out. Hold on. This is their graveyard. This is what they're working with. Alright, Goyf got. Poor guy. I don't even have enough card types to get him back. Maybe next turn I'll find something, but... I don't think I'm ever stifling the Grinding Station trigger, or untap trigger, so I'm just gonna auto-yield through it. I'm more or less just waiting for them to present their Thassa's Oracle. Or I suppose I could also, like, if they have a Pyrite Spellbomb loop that they try and do, I could do something about that too. But... Oh, that's right, they net 1 mana from this, and their graveyard is large enough where they're gonna make a decent amount of mana here. I don't think they can mill me out. I don't think they have enough cards in graveyard and library combined to mill me out, which is good. They would need 12, 13 triggers to do that. Okay, they find another, or they redeploy. Did they have that in the graveyard? Yeah, they did. Okay, so they're just gonna get rid of the Goyf forever. That's fine. Yeah, bye Goyf. They have 5 cards in their library. Okay, Thoracle's in the bin. They don't have enough mana to redeploy Thoracle after doing Unholy Heat this turn. Notably. Okay, there's the Thoracle. Triggers on the stack. They have 1 green mana. Or, well, hold on. Cast with Replicate. Why not? We'll replicate it twice. So they still have 2 cards in library. So if they can find a way to kill me in 2 turns, then they're home free. But both of their... They have 3 breaches in the graveyard. Or sorry, 2 breaches. I don't think they run many more than that. The same targets. Here we go. This would be the time for them to figure out their endurance loop or whatever. They don't have red mana. They're stuck with Thassa's Oracle on the table. I suppose there's a chance they run a second Oracle, but I'm pretty sure most of them are on 1 Oracle builds. Okay, opponent's continuing to deploy cards. Alright, opponent can't make... Oh no, they can make red mana with the Spring Leaf. Okay, so they're gonna Unholy Heat their own Thassa's Oracle now, because of the Spring Leaf Drum. They're gonna do Mox Amber loops again. Then they can make another 2 mana that way. I forgot, yeah, this they can still generate mana because they have the Mox Ambers. That's cool. I think Grinding Station is the kind of deck that I would have totally gotten into. It's one of those other combo decks that's just like, oh, it has the 1 ring. I can't afford it. So I just don't run it. Okay, yep. Only had 3 cards in graveyard. If I got 1 extra activation off of... Well, I guess they could mill themselves 1 more time, too. If I got, like, 3-4 more cards out of their graveyard, then could have got that. That's okay. On to match 3. Alright, match 3 time. Okay, we're on the play again. Look at that. Match 3, let's do it. This is turn 1 Nethergoyf. Nethergoyf's a 2/3. I have another Nethergoyf to... I have a second Nethergoyf to deploy. I have a second land. Counterspell backup. Death Shadow comes in later. Yeah, this is the type of hand that just bashes my opponent's face in. I'm here for it. You have another Goyf. It's a Goyf. And I'll bobble my opponent on upkeep. It's a Delta. Okay. Oh, Watery Grave tapped probably means Murktide. But it could be Shadow as well. There's a universe where that's a thing that they're playing. Okay, what am I doing this turn? Am I just deploying the Goyf? Or maybe I'm just holding up mana. Yeah, maybe I'm just holding up mana. No, I'm going faster than them. I have a Fatal Push that I can bop their creature with. I want them to do things to me. Maybe this bolt in was a little greedy, but it telegraphs that I'm trying to do... Oh, it's mill! Okay. Okay. Loud and clear. Well, they grow my Nethergoyf, which is very kind of them. Yep, it's a 4/5 now. That is fantastic news. Awesome. Okay, so now I can even push the crab and then hold up Counterspell. Yeah, they're just going to get 1 more mill trigger in. Fair enough. I still need a creature in the graveyard to hit 5 card types. And Froggy will help us with that. Awesome. Cool. So 2 turn clock. Get in for 10. And, I guess I'll just do this now. Just get around them drawing an Archive Trap. Crab buys them a turn. I'm going to say no. Okay, they blow up 1 Goyf. That's fine. Ooh, Sync is interesting. So I can go... Well, let me start like this. Actually, I could just bounce whatever they're doing next turn. Hold up Interaction. That's probably better, right? They got 4 cards out? No, I think I go wide. I think I just double Death Shadow. They look like they're on pure blue-black. I'm not worried about gaining life by accident. I think I hold on to the Sync. Yeah, I'll hold on to the Sync. Cool, alright. This seems like one of those matchups where milling your opponent hurts more than it helps. Unfortunately for them. The Stern Scoldings hit their crabs. And those are the secret sauce in mill. So I think I take those. I don't know if Unmoored Ego does anything, What would it take? They run bridges. They probably board in some bridges, so maybe Unmoored Ego comes in for those. I don't think the fatal pushes matter too much, to be honest. Like, they were really clutch there, but that's probably not going to be what this game's about. Well, I guess if I'm boarding in Scoldings, then the crabs do matter. The birds can come out. There we go. I only need one more card to board out. What is it? You know, on the draw, we take out the frog. Something like that. I don't think Unlicensed Hearse matters. Like, I think, what is it? Their 1 mana draw 3 spell cares about me having cards in graveyard technically, but that's not what this game's about. This mana is bad. Street rate, yeah, Death Shadow doesn't go anywhere. Like, 2 counter spells is nice, but I have no clock, and I need a clock in this matchup. This is turn 1 Thoughtseize, turn 2 Frog. Yeah, okay, I'll keep it. Bottom probably a Preordain. Yeah, I'll bottom the Preordain. Sometimes they hold off on playing the crabs right away, so they can get their fetches out. Okay, they're starting with Preordain, so slow start for them. That's good. 1 top, 1 bottom. Perfect. So we're just going to see whatever they liked. I'm going to lead on a Shockland. Go Thoughtseize. There's the bridge. I don't think I care about Extirpate, really. I'm not going to be able to answer the crab with this hand, and Snapcaster is annoying. I think the bridge is the most immediately impactful card that they own, that they're going to play next turn. Or wait, no, they can't play that next turn. That's in 2 turns. They don't have any hand disruption. They're going to have 3 cards in graveyard next turn because of the fetch. Maybe I just take the crab. I just take the crab, pass, hold up Drown in the Lock. Well, they're... So next turn, I really want to deploy the frog. Well, I guess I have Fatal Push, so I'm kind of waiting on that anyways, right? Oof. They run Thoughtseize too, I think. So I could take my Drown. I think the bridge is the safest play. I'm going to take the bridge. I'm still running the pushes, right? I didn't board those out. Yeah, I still have the pushes. Yeah, okay. I like my play a lot more then. Here's the crab. Crab mills me. Hit Thoughtseize, push, sink. Okay. So they're holding up Fatal Push. So this frog is going to be kind of hanging out in my hand for a while, probably. Just because I have no way to interact. Oh, wait, sorry, this bridge is gone. There we go. I have no way to interact with their removal suite. Yeah, I guess if I was holding on to the frog anyways, taking the bridge didn't matter. Did it? I guess I run out the fetch and pass. Like, I need to get my Watery Graves out of the deck before they get rid of them and my fetches turn off. Plus, they're not pressuring my life total with this deck. Like, they have Snapcasters. That's the closest that they have. I guess I should have just fetched on my turn. Just to avoid archive traps. There is a Goyf in the bin. And I can pressure them later. Okay, they're going to Extirpate Counterspell. Well, I can't do anything on the stack while Extirpate's going off. So they know my hand. I think I'm going to drown the crab on end step. They're kind of in full control mode. I have another Goyf in the graveyard that I can fetch out, although I don't think the card types in my graveyard are very good. I have, what, 1 creature, a ton of instants, 1 land. Creature, land, instant. I have 2 Thoughtseizes, sorcery. Okay. And then I can redeploy a land, so, like, I lose the creature card type. That's fine. The frog will probably be that again. Oh, Archive Trap. Oh, they only have 4 cards in graveyard? Damn. Okay, they get their trap. That does mean Nether Goyf is going to be very useful, though. Yeah, I absolutely should have did the fetch on my main phase. They might have top decked that Archive Trap. Alright. Blow up the crab. So I think I'm running out the frog this turn. How many Watery Graves did they hit? They hit the sewers, so no surveilling this game. No Watery Graves. I'm just going to pop this now. Fetch shock. Blue, black. Pass the turn. And from now on, I will be holding up Nether Goyfs. Yep, you can push the frog. Okay, I'll just run out the bauble. Get this fetch out of the way. Go Nether Goyf. So instant, creature, land. Where's the sorcery? Thoughtseize. There you are. Sorcery. 5/6 Nether Goyf at your service. If they try and snap bolt, I can Stern Scolding the snap. They could also try and snap Archive Trap, but yeah. Oh, wait, no, because they need to flash effect for 5. They can't do that. If they do resolve an ensnaring bridge, I'm still in trouble, though. Like, I only have 1 sink into stupor. Actually, yeah, I should be drawing cards off the bobble. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, they're top-ticking a fatal push. That's annoying. That's okay, though. We still get recurring netherglyphs for, like, till Kingdom Come. Extirpate Psychic Frog. You got it, champ. I do not care about those frogs. Do I only have 1 netherglyph in the bin? Oh, wow, so they couldn't target future netherglyphs, too. Wow. Okay. Play an island. I will investigate your hand. I will just make sure that I don't shuffle... No. No, I can answer the snap. I'll just take the trap. Play a shadow. I guess I have to see what's under that Shelldock Isle. I'm a little worried about that. Like, I'm gonna Scolding the Mage. Like, I can't not. Alright, slam a bridge. Oh, if Shelldock Isle has bridge under it, I'm gonna be so sad. Alright, push the shadow. Is it bridge? It's a Misty. Okay, cool. Stub is great. So they still have a few turns to do stuff, but stub is permission. They've used their 2 extirpates. I think they run 1 more surgical effect normally. I don't know what they use it on, but... Okay, they surveil. They find a delta. All right. They've been to the delta. You can preordain. Not stopping that. Tasha's. So I have 1 more sink into stupor. I have no counter spells. I have no frogs. Oh, so they're just taking the 2 drops out of my deck. I see what they're doing with the extirpates. Okay. I still have a few lands in the deck, I'm pretty sure. I think I have to stub this. I think they just mill me out. That's gotta go. Preordain is still a little bit of gas in the in the tank. Let's try again. I don't want those. I don't want that either. But that's fine. 1 turn clock. Maybe I should have kept the push in case they have a crab they chump with. I still have a sink into stupor in the deck. They cycle Fractured Sanity. They find 2 Goyfs, a Preordain, and a Fatal Push. So I'll have 2 more Goyfs deployed. Okay, yeah, and they're done with me. I guess that makes sense, yeah, actually. They had to cycle. Cool, alright. Beat up mill. It seems like a good matchup for us. Like, we can control how fast we get milled, and every time that they don't kill us outright, like, we accumulate another Goyf value. So, awesome. On to match 4. Alright, new day. Match 4. Let's do it. Alright, we are on the draw, but it looks like our hand is gas. This is a turn 1 Nether Goyf, probably. I guess we'll see what our opponents do. Maybe I thought Seize, but then I have a Psychic Frog as a backup threat. I even have the Bauble to grow the Nether Goyf. It's gonna get very big very quickly with this hand. Oh, it's another mill matchup. Okay. I don't have removal for that crab, unfortunately. I think I'm presenting a threat this turn, and then next turn I can... No. Actually, I think it is better to Thoughtseize turn 1. Try and... If they have removal in their hand, I just take that, probably. And then I can deploy my Frog or my Nethergoyf next turn. Actually, no, because if they're spending mana on removing my Nethergoyf, then I can deploy the Frog. Like, that takes them away from milling, probably. I don't know what the correct play is here. I think no matter what I'm fetching, I think I'm just going to deploy the Nethergoyf and try and beat them. Bash them over the head. They are drawing another crab. Uh-oh. That's not good. Things might get out of hand very quickly here. They will grow the Goyf quite a bit, at least. Goyf is a 3-4. They milled Preordained Thoughtseize Delta. And they also milled over Delta Frog Bauble. Okay. So we're looking for an instant in the graveyard. But with Stubborn Denial, that will happen shortly. There we go. Drown in the Lock is removal. I think I'm casting that next... I kind of want to Thoughtseize him this turn. And then I can Drown in the Lock next turn. I still have 43 cards in library, which is good. Yeah, I'm going to lead on Thoughtseize. Hold on. I'm going to play out the Tarn. We have not milled any watery graves. That's good to know. So we have 2 more in the deck that we can fetch out. Gonna lead on Thoughtseize. Oh, they have a 3rd crab. Okay, yeah, we have to take that 3rd crab. 100%. I would love to take that sink, but that's not happening this turn. So I know it's safe to fetch this turn, so I'm going to do that. They're not going to be pressuring our life total, so I'm just going to grab shocks. And they don't have a fetch... Or they do have the Flooded Strand as their fetch land this turn, but they don't have another fetch land at least. They don't have a whole lot else going on over there, thankfully. Okay, they finally mill over an instant. Unfortunately, it's a fatal push, so Goyf is healthy as can be. They did not mill over the last watery grave either. So I have 3 mana while shocking next turn. Ooh, Field of Ruin. Okay. I don't like that. Yeah, they're already halfway through the deck. Yeah, they might just hold on to Field of Ruin until next turn. I can't deploy a second Goyf later. That's good to know. Do I still have the watery grave? I do. Okay. Drawing that extra fetchable kind of sucks, but yeah. So I know what their hand is. I'm just going to fetch right now. Grab that last watery grave. I will go to combat. I think I have to kill one of the crabs this turn cycle. I don't think I can let them keep milling me for like 6 every turn. Then I also just hold up stub in case they try and do something interactive or some heavy mill. And the next turn I can deploy the frog. Okay, they do drown. I am going to blow up the ruin crab in response. So they get less mill off of it. I'll grab my island. I will mill 3 more cards. I'm not really sure how to show this graveyard in a way that helps you guys visualize. I have 24 cards in library right now. I'm about to have 21. So we're still doing okay. Like, we have 1 counterspell for if they top deck some mill, and they're on a 2-turn clock, so they're going to have to chump block once. Assuming they can do that and we can't do anything about it, they have a 3 turns, or they have 3 turns to survive, and we have 1 way to interact. Second stub is awesome. I like to see that. They played the sewer, so they have 1 unknown card. I think I'm just going shock in the last watery grave, attacking for 5, playing the frog. They're trying to bounce the nether Goyf. How aggressive am I going to be here? If I counter this and they don't block, then frog should win next turn, probably. Yeah, I think I force a block here. If I stub this. Which means that they slow way down. Cool, alright. Deploy the frog. They find another crab, okay. Oops, all crabs. Okay, I don't know what their last card is. But I do have to dump my whole hand if I'm going to try and win with the frog. I think this is the window for that. I do have 13 cards in library still. Oh, and sync is great too. Yeah, I'm just going to exile some cards. 1, 2, it doesn't really matter. Frog will fly. Go to combat. I think I'm just going to do this over 2 turns. I have 2 interaction spells in hand. I'll discard these sewers here. I'll draw another card. That doesn't... I'm just going to hold on to that. That doesn't do anything. All my fetchables are gone. I think I say no to that. Let's draw 3 cards, right? If a graveyard has 20 or more... Yeah, that's a no. Cool. All right. It was a little tight, but we got there. I think the Stern Scoldings come in for the crabs. I forget how I boarded last time, yesterday. I think Unmoored Ego came in as well, right? For the bridges. Yeah, I think that's how it went. I think the Mockingbirds come out. I don't remember what the last thing was. Maybe it was a frog. Did I take out a frog? I think I like everything else. Maybe I trim a push. But those frogs are really important to their game strategy. So the crabs are the secret sauce that keep them alive. Yeah, maybe just a frog comes out. I'm trying to maximize my interaction because I just need like one or two pieces of, or one or two clocks on board in order to win the game, but my opponent has Ensnaring Bridge, which I need to answer very quickly. This hand is incredibly slow. It has a way to answer Crab early. Preordain will help set up later. Unmoored Ego will strip all the bridges out, so I'll get there eventually. It's just really slow and kind of risky. Do I have better sixes? On average. I think because I have interaction. Like, this hand has a plan. I'm not super on board with it, but at least it has a plan, so I'm going to keep it. Plus, what they thought sees, this isn't really the end of the world. Okay, Crab is good. I can eat that. Turn 1 Thought Seize. Ooh. I think I'm just taking the Crab now. Yeah, I'm just going to take the Crab. Shoot the Crab. Sure, Archive Trap's fine. We did hit another Goyf too, so we will get a damage clock even if they answer everything else. Was that a second Archive Trap? It is a second Archive Trap. Wow, okay. They're still holding. Don't tell me they have a third one. Okay, they don't. I was going to say, it'd be quite something. So we're at 25 cards in library. Hold on. So we lost our Undercity Sewers and a Watery Grave. There's still 2 more graves in the deck. Okay. I'll pass. Bobble on upkeep. Okay, I don't really care about Obero. Unless I have another Crab, then I deeply care about Obero. But another push is awesome. Okay, I'm definitely leading on Thoughtseize to avoid another Archive Trap. They're fetching in response. I don't know what that means. Do they have a Drown in the Lock that they're going to spend? On a Thoughtseize? That would be interesting. They might be... Wait. Maybe they're slamming a bridge? No, they're just... Okay, they're just going to try and auto-pass. I don't... Okay. They did have a Drown in the Lock. Alright, so they're out of things to do. That is good news for me. Was it Field of Ruin and Obero? Gonna Preordain. Let's find some damage clocks. Psychic's Frog is a clock. Stubborn Denial. Stubborn Denial will counter stuff eventually, but I don't think that's where I'm trying to be right now. So next turn I can just slam another Goyf. In the following turn I can Unmoored Ego. If things go wrong, like if they draw a bridge in the meanwhile, I can just sink it on their end step the following turn, and then I can Unmoored Ego afterwards. Yeah, I don't think I need Stub. I don't think I need the Frog. I'm looking for like Death Shadow. Okay, Fatal Push I guess is also fine, but they didn't keep a Crab-centric hand. It's not as good. I played my land, right? Yeah, okay. Their top deck is... Oh, we didn't mill any islands either. They top decked an island? Okay. Oh, no, sorry. They top decked Obero. Oh, that's bad. I only have 6 cards in library. Whew, that was a top deck for them for sure. We lost 3 Nether Goyfs. No Death Shadows, though. We have 1, 2, 3... Oh, we already have 3 Death Shadows in the graveyard. I have 6 cards in library. Yikes. Okay. Well, I'm fully on the Nether Goyf plan. Did they eat my last... I still have a basic island, but did they eat my Watery Grave? They did not. Okay. Oh, they must have. Okay. I didn't count that right. That's okay. Land, sorcery, instant, creature. Do I have other? Yeah, I have other creatures. Okay. 4-turn clock. That's not enough, is it? That's not enough because I had to fetch. Oh, I should have done sink then. Should have played out my sink instead of the fetch land. I might have messed up here. I didn't pay attention to the cards I had in my library. Oops. I also should have looked. I had 6 cards in library. I could have just looked at what I had. Hold on. Let me count this again. Let me pull this out. This is my graveyard right now. 1 Death Shadow, 2 Death Shadow, 3 Death Shadow, 3. Okay. My exile has my 4th Death Shadow. Oh, they have a snap. Okay. They got this one. That's unfortunate. We're on the play this time, though, which is good. I'm going to bring back the Frog. Maybe I just take out a Preordain. I don't think I need the deck smoothing. I just need to go fast. And I should be okay. Yeah, I definitely could have played that game better. They had a pretty wild start, but I could have played that game better as well. I love the jank that comes with these future sight cards. It's the symbol being off center. Apparently when I spam left click, it was glitching out the picture. Okay, we're on the play. This hand has very bad mana. I do have a preordained to set up. But then turn 2, like, we're trying to hit a land for Nethergoyf. Turn 2, we're playing Nethergoyf holding up Stub. Does have 2 clocks, though. If I hit the black source, then I'm kind of set up. This is kind of high rolly, but I think it's okay. So I'm really relying on this preordain to get me there, and if it doesn't get me there, then hopefully the bauble drawing an extra card will. Okay, there's our land. We're kind of far away from Death Shadow. Now bauble them on upkeep again. There's no reason for me to hold on to these baubles for the fetch land value to target myself. Oh, Soul Guide Lantern. That's bad. Matter of fact, that is very bad. These Netherglyphs are very integral to my plan of attack here. Yikes. I am also going to have to crack this fetch to get my black mana. So they could just frog next turn. I don't think they're slamming anything that I want to stub on turn 2. So I think I'm just going to play the frog to use my mana better. Actually, they might have Archive Trap. I would like to stub an Archive Trap. I'm going to pass to second main. I'm going to see if they do anything. Like, they do seem to cheat the turns a little bit. No, they just let it through. Damn it. Netherglyph's at 2-3. That is not a lot. Yeah, I don't know. I'm suspicious. I want to hold up interaction, I think. They did have the Archive Trap. Okay. No Archive Trap. I have successfully protected my graveyard. This is a 3-4 as well, so they're very incentivized to crack the lantern. Soon. I think. Okay. Push the Goyf, then eat the Goyf from the graveyard? Surgical Nethergoyf. Okay, well now I don't care about the Soul Guide Lantern anymore. Unfortunately, they do take an extra card out of my hand, though, that the frog could have benefited from. That makes me sad. Alright. My hand is kind of clunky, unfortunately. So I think next turn I'm just slamming frog and hoping it gets somewhere. Maybe. Maybe I just hold up. I don't think I can hold up interaction, really, because my opponent can just wait as well. And I need 2 lands before I can play my frog with counterspell back up. They only have 3 cards in hand, which is good for me. We got drew another counterspell. Yeah, okay. So if the frog dies, then at least I can stall for a long time. Oh, they can take me off of black mana. And they can drown. Yikes. Okay. Just gonna be staring at each other for a while. I'm just gonna surveil right now. Hopefully that gets around an Archive Trap that they might top deck later. I think I'm in the mood for Preordain. I also just realized that main phase sewers means that they can Field of Ruin. That was a mistake. Yeah, then I just lose my surveil anyway. Whoops. Oh well. Opponent taps 2 mana. Okay, I'll tap for a black, because I'm about to fetch an island. Yeah, I shouldn't have surveilled yet. I should have waited. Yes, I am losing mana. That's okay. And we continue to stare at each other. Thoughtseize is good. I'll rattle that off now. I would like some information, please. Are they going to just surveil in response again? No, they're just... okay. Cycling Fractured Sanity. Yes, I will mill 4 cards. They removed a frog, a push, and a shadow. Okay. That means they probably don't have much going on in their hand. Yeah, okay. Yeah, me losing those... that Soul Guide Lantern and me losing the Netherglyphs really rattled my hand plan. But on the bright side, they don't have anything going on. Oh, they're on 4 basics, huh? That's a lot of basics. We continue to stare at each other. I haven't seen any crabs. Did they take out the crabs for interaction instead? Is that standard? Or are they just not drawing them? Okay, Soul Guide Lantern's gone. I think they've seen my whole deck too, so they know that I don't care about my graveyard anymore. So that makes sense. No crab. Get that out of here. Okay, they do have crabs. They were just hiding. I am gonna bet shock on end step. First off, marginal deck thinning, but second off, I have mana to Archive Trap now, and then I just untap again, or to counter Archive Trap. We're pretty close to just casting this. I don't think that's where I want to be, though. I'm just gonna cycle. Cycle. Okay. How many Death Shadows are missing? We have one Death Shadow missing. So we still have 3 in the deck. Those would be some good hits. We also lost 2 Psychic Frogs. Wow, we only have 5 threats in our entire deck that we can hit. And 3 Preordains to help us dig more. Alright. I'll shock in that Watery Grave. On the bright side, I have 5 mana. Like, 5 mana is where I want to be comfortably if I'm going to have a Counterspell War. They're going to Surveil. There's another crab. I think I let this one go because I'm going to try and push it. Before any milling is going... I don't know if it makes a difference. I'm just going to do this while the mill is on this deck. Okay, they crack. They're fetch. Oh, I see. They get an extra 3 cards out of this in response to removal. That's fine. Whatever. Lost another Death Shadow in the mill. And I lost a Psychic Frog in the mill. Oh, there's only 3 threats left in the deck, really? Technically, there are 2 Street Wraiths as well that I can tap out for. That sounds incredibly dangerous, though. Well, they've played 1 Drown in the lock. I don't think they run more than 2, right? They can't force me to shuffle, so Archive Trap doesn't do a whole lot. They'd have to hard cast it. But they could have Tasha's. I think they run, like, what, 2 Tasha's normally? And my Street Wraiths are out of the deck, so Tasha's is a very bad hit. Oh, I'm out of fetchables, by the way. I just noticed there's 2 Watery Graves in the graveyard, so I'm out of mana. This is all the mana I get for the rest of the game. So how many Death Shadows are gone? 1 Death Shadow, 2... Oh, is it just 2? I still have 2 Death Shadows in the deck and 1 Psychic Frog. It's a 1 in 8 chance whenever I draw a card. I think the alternative of me just tapping out, though, like, they still have 3 cards in hand. Like, they're holding on to stuff waiting for the counter spells to go through. So I think I need, yeah, I need the Death Shadow. Okay. Okay. I mean, I didn't expect to draw anything this turn. That's a Fractured Sanity. Okay. I swear, if they cycle this and I mill my last threats, I'm gonna cry. They're just gonna hard cast. Okay. Oh. Well, they have a Fractured Sanity in hand. Remember that. We are going to continue to stare at each other. Oh, that's right. Sink into Super is also mana. I don't think I'm playing it as mana, though. I think I just pass. I'm not liking my odds for this game, to be honest. Like, every turn that they continue to do stuff is another turn where I'm gonna have issues. Or every turn that they survive without me having a clock. Oh, there goes the Death Shadow. Stop milling those. No, I need those. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay, I still have a Death Shadow. Every turn that they survive is a turn where I'm drawing a card out of my deck, which is 1 less card that they need to mill. And I'm at 17 cards in library. They are quite happy here, just sitting and letting me bleed myself to death. I will Thoughtseize them. You're gonna drown it? Wow. Okay. I think I let that happen. If I had to speculate, they're waiting until they have, like, Ensnaring Bridge and double Counterspell backup. And until I have a clock, they don't have to care about casting the bridge right away. They just need to find a window where I start tapping out or overextend. That might mean another Fractured Sanity. Snapcaster, I will Stern Scolding that. There's the bridge. Okay. Wow. Okay. So with that hand, I should have just slammed a Street Wraith, honestly, because I can sink into Stupor on the bridge later. I still have 1 Street Wraith left. I have to counter the crab. But I know they're out of stuff. They're out of tricks. They're in top deck mode now. There's a frog. Okay, cool. We did it. The downside is that the frog is a very slow clock. There are many turns before frog wins the game, and in order to win the game more aggressively, I need to draw extra cards on combats here, which is a problem. I could probably just discard this second Sink into Stupor. Discard the Sink. 2's enough for this turn. Next turn, that might change. Yeah, I'm not playing that. We are out of fetchables. That is frog food. You may absolutely eat my graveyard. I do not care if this frog flies for the rest of the game. They choose to exile the Stern Scolding, which means that they really don't like that. That's funny. Yeah, they're just going to draw a card. That makes perfect sense to me. There's a crab. I don't like the crab. Crab must go. I think they're still holding a Polluted Delta that I accidentally clicked out. I don't think we've had enough draw steps for them to have 2 unknown cards in hand. Oh, well, we don't know what the Soul Guide Lantern was. Oh, we didn't know what that crab was either. Yeah, I think they still have a land in hand that I forgot about. Stub is nice. I think at this point, I can discard the Sink into Stupor and just rely on double counterspell off of Drown and Stub. Or how does the math work here? So I can discard 2 cards. I'll have 2 cards in hand. They take 4. I draw a card, go to 3 cards in hand. I'm sorry, they take 4, go to 6. Well, I'm discarding this no matter what. So right now this is a 4-turn clock if I don't pitch stuff, but if I discard 3 cards, then... Or if I discard 1 card next turn, then that's 7 damage over 2 turns. Yeah, this is a 3-turn clock if I just pitch a spell next turn. I think I'm good. I'll just hold up as much interaction as possible. Whereas if I just pitch 2 cards right now, that is still a 3-turn clock, and then I have less interaction in my hand. Okay, there's a fetch. So they still have 2 unknowns. I think I'm gonna get rid of this Fatal Push. There's a bridge. I can bounce that on end step. It's a little risky. I don't think I have a choice, though. Oh, wait, they have 1 counterspell. That doesn't matter. I can stop that. How many other sinks do I have? I still have 1 in the deck, I think. Yeah, I do. Okay, cast Sink, target the bridge. There's the Drown in the Lock that they're... Oh, no, what are they doing? Archive Trap? I think I use Stub on this. Alright, well played from them. They needed to hold on to that, I think. Oh, fuck. That they can just pay 1. Oh, but if they fetch, I can respond. Oh. Okay, phew. I almost punted the game here. So they need to fetch for mana. Okay, they just didn't bother to pay it. Phew, okay. Yeah, I could have pitched... they fetch, I respond by discarding this Fatal Push, and then Ferocious is triggered. That scared me for a moment. I was like, oh, I just lost the game. There's a Death Shadow. 3... Oh, this is 6 damage right here. I could, if I didn't have to react, I could have won the game. That's okay. I think I'm deploying the Death Shadow. I don't need to discard a card this turn. Ooh, I could Unmoored Ego all of the bridges, but that also draws them into extra stuff. But I have Drown in the Lock for that. Ensnaring Bridge. Oh, they only had 2, huh? So they still have 2 Archive Traps, 2 Fractured Sanities, and a Snapcaster, and 2 Drown in the Locks. Those are the cards that I care about the most. Oh, I can't play the Death Shadow out. I have to hold up Drown in the Lock. Okay. They did get to draw an extra card off of that too, though. Crab wins the game, I think. No, it doesn't. They have 1 land drop, 2 land drop. If they have a fetch, then they win the game if I let this resolve. If they have a counter spell, though, if I try and counter this, then I just lose. I didn't see a lot of lands in their deck, so I'm going to assume they have a counter spell, so I'm going to let this resolve. If they try and crack a fetch... Oh, they have Oboro. Okay, that's fine. I mill. If they fetch in response, Crab dies. This is intense. I'll push the Crab in response to the fetch. In fact, I can just blow up the Crab anyway. I didn't need to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. Whew. Wow. Oh, they had no lands, huh? All right. They were nice. Those were intense games. Okay, I'll just discard the shadow. Oh, I didn't need to do that. I forgot. They're at 2 because they did fetches, but that's okay. They're just letting me take my victory lap with the frog, and that's the game. All right, so we played against 2 mill decks in this league. It felt good. Game 2, I think I punted, probably somewhere. But yeah, that third game felt good. All right, let's close this out. Match 5. And for match 5, we get the play. This basic island continues to haunt us forever and ever. Do I keep this hand? I do have one form of interaction that uses the basic island, which is nice. This is what? Turn 1 preordain, turn 2... I want to be able to play both of these by turn 2, I think. Fatal Push doesn't help me. I don't know, bad vibes with this hand. Let's go to 6. 2 lands, both of them can tap for black. They also get to Death Shadow Race. I have a frog and counterspell for backup. This is amazing. I really don't know what to put away. I wish I could keep all of them. They didn't reveal Gigantha, so Fatal Push isn't, like, imperative, probably. So I think I bottomed the Fatal Push. I think counterspell is better in a vacuum. Because I can go, like, turn 1 Thoughtseize, turn 2 Frog, turn 3 Shadow. If I hit a land, then I can hold up counterspell with that Shadow. They kept 6 as well. That's great for the Thoughtseize. What you working with? It is Goryo's. I see. So I'm taking the Thoughtseize. I'm pretty sure. Archaeologist is bad, but I think I would rather get rid of their way to interact, because they don't really have much else going on in the hand. I guess I could try and counter the Archaeologist. I don't think that's correct. I probably just counter whatever they grab off of, or grab with the Archaeologist instead. Let's see, if I run out the Frog, they're just going to block with the Archaeologist next turn. I could fetch Shock, or run out the Shadow, which would be a 1/1, but Preordain can set up a 3rd land drop, which will make it a 4/4. And then I have mana to hold up. Let's try that. Let's look for a land. I don't need the 2nd frog. I want the 3rd land. I'll run out Shadow. We'll see what they do. Yeah, they do get a couple looks at a card with the Surveil, which isn't great, but I think that's fine. They got to bin in Atraxa. Okay, so Goryo's is scary by turn 3. Gotcha. They fetch with their Marsh Flats for basic Swamp. Okay, so they're really trying to preserve their life total here. Oh, they're a domain build. Okay, so they have Leyline Binding. That's good to know. Must be really kicking themselves for that basic swamp fetch. That's bizarre. Street Wraith is nice too. So I think I'm playing out the land. Gonna swing with Death Shadow. They choose to block, that's fine. I think, yeah, I'm just leaning really hard on this Death Shadow, so I'm just going to fetch Shock. I guess I could have just cycled this first. Okay, I'm just passing. They need to Shock and Watery Grave to attempt a Leyline Binding. With their given hand, at least. 2nd Archaeologist is okay. Oh, they find a 2nd Binding. That one is a problem. Yeah, they choose the 2nd Binding. Okay. Oh, they just naturally drew the... Damn. Thankfully, this is only 1 white mana, though. That's good news for me. Find a Preordain. I will keep the Counterspell. I'm a little tempted just to run out of Frog right now, because they've shown that they have removal, but they haven't shown that they can remove both of these. But if they do Goryo's, then I'm just screwed. And they've had some time to draw some cards. I think I'm just holding up Counterspell. We'll just make them react to stuff. Thoughtseize is okay. On second thought, I think I should have just slammed Frog. Like, they play 1 Leyline Binding, but like the way the turn sequence is, unless I draw a 4th land, I couldn't really hold up 2 Counterspells for my opponent. And I can't deploy one of these Frogs with Counterspell backup no matter what, so I might as well just run one of these out now before they get a chance to draw extra cards. Oh, and they have a Plains. Okay. Womp. Stub would be a very nice draw. I'm just letting them have this Leyline Binding. I can't do anything about that. We keep drawing Preordains. I don't want these cards. There's the stub. But I'm just going to present a threat. I think I need to. They're going to binding this. That's okay. Next turn, I can do stuff too. Like, I have another frog. But I can't sit in fear of the combo, waiting for them to draw into it the whole time. What do they do for 4 mana? Did they mean to cast that? I think they just did the wrong half of this. And they just tapped all their mana so they can't undo. Oh, no. Yeah, they misclicked. They played the wrong half. I'm sorry, opponent. Honestly, that sucks. That sucks a lot. Yeah, they could have just looked for Goryo's at sorcery speed. Oh, they tilted. Brutal. That wouldn't happen in paper. So they're a deck that runs Solitude. That is very scary. I don't think I care a whole lot about Fatal Push in this match. Oh, they do run Frogs. They run Frogs, they run Archaeologists, but they do have Ephemerate, which will just keep blinking them forever. They run Emperor of Bones as well, or the Priest of Felright. So the Fatal Pushes aren't dead. They have text. I also want to board in... I don't think Consign is a big deal. I don't think. Like, maybe the Unmoored Ego comes in just to name Atraxa. Slow down their Goryo's half of the deck. What comes out, though? I'm on the draw, so we'll take a frog out. I'm going to start getting better about this. Like, maybe just, like, trim 2 frogs. And a Preordain. Drown in the Luck isn't very good in this matchup, because, like, either they have a very large graveyard, and it's good, but I'm going to plan on eating their graveyard over time, so I can just avoid this non-synergy, and I can keep my 1-drops as well. This way. Yeah, this makes sense. We were boarding at 2-drops for 2-drops and a 3-drop. So at least our curve doesn't get disturbed too much. I like that. This is a very good hand without a clock. Double Thoughtseize is very important against them. Fatal Push is nice as well, and Preordain will help me dig. So I think I keep this. This is like turn 1 Thoughtseize. I'm not sure what I'm doing turn 2. We'll see. But we could Thoughtseize Preordain as a good default. They just Surveil on their first main. Interesting. Oh! That's how they get to 5 color in Domain. Wow. So Leyline Binding is going to be worse this game. Third Thoughtseize is just mean. Let's take a look. What are they operating with? A pair of 2-drops. A pair of big boys and a Tainted Indulgence. I think if I take the frog, they have the hardest time binning both of these creatures. So I think I start by taking frog. Next turn, I can Thoughtseize the other one. Or sorry, they play the other one. I can Fatal Push that. We'll try that. Okay, they play Delta. Yep. Oh, they just got Tainted. Okay. Probably been Atraxa. Yep. Atraxa's gone. I would love a black source. We find a Street Wraith. I'm going to cycle this at the start of the turn. Haha! Alright. Lead on Thoughtseize. There's Leyline Binding. I think I just take Emperor of Bones, take Leyline Binding. Make him do stuff. Maximum tilt. I'm at 6, though, so, like, I really need to find a Death Shadow. I can't actually do both of these lands here. I think I'm gonna, if they don't do this main phase, I'm gonna try and... Oh, maybe I should have taken the Ephemerate, huh? Yeah, I should have taken the Ephemerate. Whoops. Okay, they have a Goryo's, they have... Yeah, Tainted Indulgence, okay. Yeah, maybe I got too greedy there. They're gonna Goryo's next turn. They don't have this Ephemerate, they don't have this Swamp. They have a Gristlebrand and a Goryo's and a Tainted Indulgence. I suppose I could sink. Bolt and sink. Pass the turn. And when they... What am I doing? I'm very worried about this Goryo's. I don't know what to do. Maybe I should have just bobbled trying to hit a counter spell. They're drawing a Surveil land. Okay. So I can sink into Stupor. Okay, well, they're going to have to cast this Ephemerate. I'm going to let them do that first. I can sink into Stupor the Atraxa, but that doesn't stop the ETB. I could also sync the Gorios, which time walks them, but they get their Gorios back. I think I have to let this go through. I think I have to sync the Gorios. I found another ephemerate. Yeah, me taking that, or not taking that ephemerate, it's really hurting me. I don't think Leyline Binding mattered as much as I thought it did. Oh, they're just gonna pass? Did they... Okay, they still have an ephemerate, so a Fatal Push doesn't do anything to them. They're respecting Counterspell right now, thankfully. Go Preordain. Nethergoyf is important. They're still respecting Counterspell, so I think I present this threat and just lean into their anxieties. They're probably just going to try and blink the Archaeologist looking for a Force of Negation. Yeah. Goryo's just wins, though. Like, because it's not like I can take a hit. They didn't play their Undercity Sewers last turn. They got a second Gorios. Oh, they're just going to do it on end step. Okay, that's fine. They win. I messed up. I just let them Philology loop. I took all their 2-drops. I drew Fatal Pushes. Should have spaced out those Thought Seizes. I also didn't have a clock, though, so I guess I wasn't really doing anything else. Maybe that wasn't a great hand to keep. I think I still like Mockingbird because I can get around most of their stuff. Like, most of their, like, Archaeologist Ephemerate nonsense. Alright, this has a clock, it has double Thoughtseize, and Sync is a backup third land. Oh, why did I organize my hand like this? I'll give it a shot. So I'm just going to try and turn 1 get rid of whatever removal they have for the frog. Okay, I'm keeping this hand. This is good. We're going to go turn 1. We'll go Shock, Thoughtseize. So I'm going to try and keep the Psychic Frog alive. Next turn, I'm going to try and... Oh. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Turn 1 Force of Negation off the rip. That is something. They're going to return their own Thoughtseize here. They probably take my Thoughtseize, I would assume, if they were that aggressive. They might take the frog too, though. Okay. Just identifying that I don't have a clock right now. Oh, my whole plan fell apart. Let's try again. Goryo's Philology. They don't have a way to bin stuff right now, and they exile their own Atraxa. So if I take the Philology Archaeologist, they're not doing anything for a while. And I can just preordain and try and spin into something else. I think I like that. Let's shut off the value engine of their deck. I think I'm going to hold on to this fetch land as well. I think I'm in the business of looking for threats over Thoughtseize right now, although I would like another Thoughtseize to get rid of that Gorios. I think, yeah, I just need to rattle off the bauble. They're drawing a Wrath of the Skies, huh? That's a big deal. Maybe I regret not keeping that Thoughtseize. Nethergoyf is nice. I'll go Nethergoyf pass. They will surveil off of their fetch. They've been a Solitude. Okay. So I think they're going to lean on this Wrath of the Skies here. Ah, well, they found an Archaeologist. That certainly helps. They found a Leyline Binding. So that is a 1-mana remove Nethergoyf forever next turn. I'm going to surveil on end step here. Counterspell is important. I will keep that on top. I'm not sure whether it answers... Oh, they can't cast Wrath of the Skies yet. They can cast Leyline Binding for 1, but they don't have another white source for Wrath. That's good. Cool. All right. Send in for 4. Play a land, pass the turn. Okay, we're just chilling. Yeah, they're just going to hold up Leyline Binding. I'm going to say no. Death Shadow is okay. I'm swinging in no matter what, so I'm going to do that now. I'll cycle Street Wraith. I could try and just go shields down for a turn. I could just like, or let me preordain first. Let me see what I find. I don't want either of those. I do have a stub. So I think I'm just passing and stubbing. Next turn I can deploy the Death Shadow. That is not a good draw for them. Celestial Purge. I think I have to answer that. I am purely in the business of whacking them over and over again. They still don't have double white, which means they still can't Wrath of the Skies. I think I'm just deploying this Death Shadow to make them top deck. Especially because I can just Nether Glyph from the graveyard. Emperor of Bones doesn't win the game. Put a creature exile, gains haste, sacrifice at the beginning of the next end step. Okay, so if I just blow this up right now, then Adapt doesn't really do anything. Alrighty. Hey, look at that, 4-1. Awesome. Phew. Alright. Let's close this video out. So, end of the day, how do I like Blue-Black Shadow? I think it's an awesome deck. It is a highly versatile deck. I think its biggest strengths are that it can just beat you over the head with a pipe wrench very quickly, but also has a heavy blue focus, so it has some versatility with the preordains. Stubborn Denial holds up a lot of protection, which is awesome. Counter spells do a good job, and the frogs put in a lot of work over time as well, especially in board stall situations or when both of you are in top deck mode. Psychic Frog will break that parity over pretty much anything else. It's amazing. I think it does have some downsides, though, where you are restrained to your opening hand quite a bit. It's not like a control deck because whatever you draw is whatever speed you're going. So sometimes you will just draw a lot of interaction with no clock, and if your opponent can get around that interaction, then there's nothing you can really do about it, and you're not incentivized to mulligan a lot of the time looking for that interaction. I think I'm a little too complacent with my hand keeps right now. I'm just kind of going with the flow because I don't know if the good hands that I keep are not good enough with context of whatever matchup I'm playing against. I think with some more reps, I'll understand that. This is something that I noticed in my previous leagues. I just haven't changed it yet because I already rented the deck. But I think this third Sink into Stupor should probably be another fetch land. There are a lot of games where I get stuck, or like my opening hand is like Island Preordain. And some of those times, this Sink into Stupor could have saved me from having to play a blue source turn 1 and playing Preordain, which is a really limp turn 1 play. So maybe 2 of these is the way to go. When we play against things like Mill, we really appreciate the ability to bounce a bridge, but I don't think that's going to come up as often. I don't think it's a spell, because like we're going to have a maximum of 5 mana most of the time. So Sync plus a spell in a counterspell war isn't really going to do the trick most of the time. Bouncing things in combat can be relevant, but yeah, that's my 2 cents. The sideboard still feels okay. I haven't played against a lot of Tron in the last couple of leagues, so I haven't seen Break the Ice put in some work, but it works really well when I see it. I might be tempted to go -1 Break, +1 Consign, though. I think Consign to Memory has more applications in a higher quantity of matchups. Like Consign to Memory, I could play against Jeskai Ring Control, and I'm happy with it. I can play it against all Urza Saga decks, which is nice. I don't know if Break the Ice is really the same way. Although I guess Break the Ice you board in against Urza Saga-centric decks too, which I didn't do. Maybe when we played against Breach, or the Grinding Station combo, maybe that was the right card to put in. I did like Unmoored Ego. I think there were times for it where it really mattered, and I don't regret putting it in the 15. I think it was better than the Spell Pierce or the Mystical Dispute it would have been in the sideboard anyways. If you like this deck, link in the description. Go to the Mox field, check it out. Mostly I do Lantern videos, so if you want to check out some of the other decks that I have as well for different Lantern archetypes, then take a look at those as well. There's a few different flavors of things that I have in there. I'll leave the link to the community Discord as well in the description, even though this isn't a Lantern deck, but that's where I'm hanging out most of the time. If you guys want to ping me there, say hi. And yeah, that's all I have for today. Take care, everybody.